Welcome to Comprehensive English Notes. In this video, I am providing the summary of short story Eveline, written by James Joyce, who was born in 1882 and died in 1941. Eveline was published in 1914 in Joyce's collection of stories entitled Dubliners. Eveline is set in the background of Irish life, where women greatly outnumbered men and there was a scarcity of good jobs for women. The story is about a young woman's failure to take action due to her lack of conscious will and a state of paralyzed existence. This is the story of a young girl's failure to manage her life at both the social and economic levels. Miss Evelyn Hill was sitting near a window. It was evening. She was tired. She was thinking about her escape plan with an Irish sailor, Frank, settled in Buenos Aires. She was 19 years old and worked at a local store. She looked from the window to the street outside. The smell of dust was prevalent in the air, and she mused where all the dust came from. She looked across the street. The bright brick house replaced a field where she, her brothers, their neighbors' children, such as Keogh, Devines, Waters, Dons, etc., used to play. Her father would come there to shoo them away. Then a person from Belfast had bought the field and built the brick houses there. Thus, they lost their playground. Now everything had changed. Her father was kind when her mother was alive. Her elder brother, Ernest, was also alive. Now the other kids were no more there. Some had gone abroad and some had gone back to their homelands. For example, Waters back to England. It was her time to change her life like others. She had decided to leave her home. She looked around at everything at home, and with each article there, she had memories attached. She had cleaned this place many times and had never thought to part with all these. She looked at the portrait of the priest hanging on the wall and remembered he was her father's friend and now was in Melbourne. She had decided to leave her home, but she was still thinking about its consequences. She was worried about people's reaction at her leaving of her house. They would take her as a fool. She remembered she had the responsibility of two younger siblings. Miss Gavin, her boss at the store where she worked, never missed any chance to scold at her. Therefore, she would not regret leaving the store. In the new place, she hoped to get respect from other people. She would have someone who would love her and care for her. Her abusive father, who had become violent after her mother's death, would take all her week's earnings, which was 7 shillings, from her every Saturday night. Miss Hill had promised with her mother just before her death that she would keep the home together as long as she could. But after mother's death, her situation had deteriorated and had a miserable life. Now she had decided to change by leaving home. She thought Frank had come to change her life. However, when her father knew about her meeting with him, he had quarreled with him and had told her not to see him again. Then she had to meet him secretly. Her father had doubt on Frank and he spoke badly of him. People knew they were courting. Frank used to sing for her and take her to different places. He had even taken her to see the Bohemian Girl. She had written two letters, one to her father and another to Harry. This was to let them know that she was going away for better. She again remembered her father, who had become irritable with the passage of time, and took care of her when she once fell ill. She heard an Italian who was playing music, and that reminded her of her mother's last days. She was terrified when she remembered her mother's last days. She stood up to leave for the station. She could see many people coming and going. She found Frank waiting for her at the station. The ship blew the whistle. Frank held her hand, asking her to come on board, but she couldn't decide what to do. She had a sudden thought that he would drown her, and she decided to stay. Frank kept calling her, but she stayed intact to the railing, refusing to go with him. Thank you everybody for watching this video.